I don't know why we bought a house.
Big regrets.
I wish we could control alt delete the past 3 months. I don't want it anymore if anyone wants it.
It hurts my soul that we were like this close to being like, let's just rent.
Yeah.
And then we didn't.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, we're here. And if you don't know what happened, we're about to go into every detail of why we will never be homeowners again until we have to be when we have kids or something.
Yeah. I've posted a lot on TikTok and told the whole story. So if you've already seen that, it might be a little repetitive, but I feel like I held back a lot of extra facts.
Yeah.
And people are commenting, they're like, never buy a house if you can't afford to maintain it. We can afford to maintain it. If our air conditioning goes out, we're fine. We can't afford to demolish the attic, fumigate the entire house, fix the structure.
Mm-hmm. It's like, and you shouldn't, yes, you should have money to maintain, but we just bought this house.
Yeah.
Like, we should not be dealing with this not even 2 months in.
Yeah.
So we have the money to do that, but like, it's like basically starting from ground zero with this house. That we were not under the impression. If we were under the impression that we were gonna flip this entire house, sure.
Yeah. So basically,
we're already getting mad.
Let's take it back to February.
Let's start off with how we met our realtor.
So, we wanted to look at this house we found on Zillow. I know, red flag.
But how else are you supposed to find houses? No one teaches you how to buy a house. I just like...
Yeah, so we want to look at this house. I click like show me this house. And I clicked a time. And it just like matched us with a realtor. And
they're dragging her through the mud.
Every other comment on TikTok be like, it's not 3 syllables, it's 2.
Realtor. I say that too. I don't know why. I think it's a Utah thing.
Maybe, yeah.
Realtor.
Maybe.
Like, realtor just does, I don't know. That just sounds weird.
Realtor.
I know it's realtor. But I say realtor.
Me too.
Come at me.
Me too. You don't need to leave the comment. It's okay. We get matched up with a realtor nicknamed Winter to show us this house. She like lets us in. She's seen it with us the first time. And then from there, she was like decent. Like, I wasn't like, yeah.
No, let's be real. We thought she was a little awkward.
She was awkward the first time.
But I kind of felt bad for her.
But then as we went on, it was like, I don't know, like, it was fine.
It wasn't horrible. It was fine.
Yeah.
She was convenient, let's say that.
Yes, we would find houses on Zillow, send them to her. She would ask us what time. We would meet her at the house. She would open the door, let us in, but she was our realtor. Yeah, people are like, that doesn't make her your realtor. She just opened the doors for you. So then, we were literally about to give up this one day because we were seeing tons of houses with her this morning. And then there was an open house in St. Pete. This house we're sitting right in front of. She didn't come with us. She was just like, let me know how it goes. So we left the house.
Yeah. It was really cute at first.
And we told her we wanted to put an offer in. So at the open house, there was like a pamphlet. This house was on the market and then taken off and then put back on. Like in a 6-month time span or something. So this packet was from the time before it was listed. On there it said fully paid off solar panels, yada 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 yada. Like, it was just like telling you all about the house, and it said fully paid off solar panels. But when we go to put the offer in on the house, they're like, there's almost $7,000 left on the solar panels. And like it's your responsibility to pay them off, which doesn't really make sense.
And Winter was like, oh no, you have that pamphlet, right? Like, that proves that they have to be paid off or whatever. She's seeming to take our side and fighting for us right there, I thought.
Yeah. But then part of that was offering more for the house. So we offered $7,000 more.
This part literally, like,
it hurts.
Every time I think, because I wanted to stick to my guns and I wanted to tell Winter no, I want to actually put in below offer because there's been no offers on the table, and that, like, I'm the type of person on Facebook Marketplace where I will ask for like
$100 cheaper.
Yeah. Why wouldn't I do the same thing in my house? Maybe because my realtor was gaslighting me into thinking everything I said or asked was wrong.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's so annoying that we went over $7,000 on what we had to ask for the solar panels to actually be paid off. So we paid off.
Technically, you're paying them off, yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to one of the houses we were looking at. This is just, we thought back to like our whole time with her, and we were like, okay, wait, this was weird. We didn't really realize it at the time. We were kind of thinking like maybe we should look for another realtor. And then she like read our minds or something.
I swear.
Because like that day she's showing us this house. We were pretty interested, which I'm so glad we didn't get that one. I feel like there could have, well, they probably didn't have termites and shit, but I guess someone had put an offer in on the house, but the listing agent and Winter were talking, and he was like, I'd rather give it to your clients first because he didn't want to sell it to this other guy because he switched realtors. I'm sorry, what seller gives a fuck on the realtor?
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Maybe I'm wrong. But like, she was planting this in our head that it is so against
morally wrong
to switch realtors. And so we were like, I mean, she's fine.
And honestly, we're the type of person that's like, yeah, we're gonna stick it through with you. Like, you've shown up to every house.
Yeah, we had been working with her for like,
I had no issue with her. I mean, she's not like, I wouldn't go out of my way and choose her, but she was fine.
Yeah. Okay, back to put the offer in the house. Offer gets accepted. Winter, I had no idea this was a red flag. I learned this literally yesterday from a TikTok comment. She said, she calls, your offer's been accepted, woohoo! Does Wednesday at 10 work for an inspection? Those are her exact wordings. It was at Wednesday at 10. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I had no idea you're supposed to pick your inspector. She didn't even like, she just said it's scheduled for this day. And she said like, I use him all the time. So I guess Winter always uses this inspector.
Which, red flag, but we didn't know. We're had first-time home buyers. I did not know that. Okay, so then the inspector comes, and
it's really obvious what her name is. I don't know why. Legally, for legal reasons. Winter. There is like a regular inspection you can get, or you can get a 4-point inspection, which is even better. Like, they're gonna check even more things. It's a couple $100 more, but really recommended. We were like, absolutely, we want the highest inspection we can get. So we paid extra for an extra
4-point
inspection. Take it away.
So basically, this guy shows up. We get there right at the time we're supposed to. She's not even there. Like, she was scheduled to be there with us for the home inspection at, say, like 11 o'clock. She shows up an hour later. We're just hanging out with this guy, hanging out at the house,
sitting in the living room,
letting him do his thing. Like, we don't know if we follow him. We have no clue what we're doing. By the time he got to the attic, he's done like the crawl space and everything, I think.
Yeah.
Winter had gotten here, so we're at the attic now, and he pushes up the thing to look in the attic, and he goes, oh, you guys have spray foam. And then him and Winter are like, that's amazing. Like, that is a top of the line, like, so good for your insulation for your house.
Your
bill's gonna be cheaper. Like, that is a really good thing to have. Just like hyping it
her
up.
eyes are so wide. She's like, spray foam.
Yeah, and we're like, cool.
I've never heard of it.
I mean, sounds good, I guess. Don't know anything about insulation. Just trusting our inspector and real estate person.
He did say, I think I see termite droppings, but I can't say that, so you need to get an official termite inspector out here. Winter, of course, schedules that as well.
She would have been like, okay, you guys, it's recommended that you guys get your own. I do have some suggestions, but nothing. It was like, all right, this is scheduled for this time. The home inspection was like, after I sent it to my friend, this was just recently, I sent her our home inspection, and she does this for a living. She'll flip houses, so she knows what a good home inspection is supposed to look like. She looked at it and she was like, this is, I'm being nice saying this is like a C minus work. Because it was so vague. It was so short. There was nothing to go off of. When we're under the impression we got the best 4-point home inspection that you could buy on the market.
Yeah.
So anyways, fast forward, we hire a professional expert pest control to check out if there's any termite damage, anything like that.
We get the WDO, wood destroying organism report, back to us. There's 3 check boxes, one that says live, one that says active, and one that says none. And active was checked. So after that inspection, we had our whole like repair list, and we put the termite like treatment we would have needed for that. So we requested for them to pay for that, and they came back. Well, Winter came back to us, and she was, and I have this all over text. I'll even put it in here. Of her saying there are no live termites, so the sellers are not obligated to pay for it, because no live termites, the sellers are not obligated to pay for it. It's only a preventative treatment that's needed.
Active does not mean that there are live termites, which we thought was weird. So we brought it up to her in text. We said, so active does not mean live, right? Like, I'm a little confused because you would think those words go hand in hand. But she was so gun-ho that they do not mean the same thing. And we would only need preventative work.
Yeah. Which, at that point, we were like, okay, we'll pay for preventative work. We buy the house. We move in. So then, 2 months later, Lauren wakes up with termites all over her window. And we're like, oh my god.
We've never seen termites. We never even learned about termites. We're from Utah. So when we saw these wings, we're like, I don't really know what this is. We were literally Googling what
different types of bugs.
We're like looking up wings around the house, Florida.
Yeah, and then we diagnosed it as termites, and we were like, oh my god. So we had the same people who came out originally come back again from the termite inspector company, and he walked up and he was like, I remember your house. Yeah, you need a fumigation. I don't see subterranean termites often, so like, you guys need to get this done.
He looked around the house for maybe 5 minutes.
So,
because he already knew. He literally remembered our house of how bad it was infested with termites.
Yeah. From there, we had a couple other termite companies come out for a quote, and another guy was telling us that it looks like the previous owners painted over damage on the ceiling in a couple of the rooms, which is true. The ceilings in the office and the mudroom look really bad. Like, he was like, that bubbled up paint, termites. All the cracks in between, termites. I was putting up a curtain thing, like the ceiling track one, and I put it in the wrong spot, so I pulled it down, and termite droppings fell out of it.
We'll insert a picture.
Yeah.
Of what fell on her face, and then what was left was on her fingers. I wanted to throw up.
Like, literally shit fell on my face. Termite shit from above the ceilings. So then we schedule our fumigation. We're all set for that. We were hearing from a couple people that if you have spray foam, that doesn't work with fumigation. So our next step was calling the people who are doing the fumigation to ask if it's okay with spray foam. Haley calls. What happens?
I called the day before they were supposed to come out. I called the day before, and I was talking to this guy that's in like customer service, and I was explaining the situation, and I was making sure that the spray foam if the fumigation is gonna work with the spray foam. he goes on to tell me this long story about how there's only been one case where it didn't work and you'll be totally fine. And I'm like, okay, this is perfect. Like, at least I checked, I feel better. About, what, 2 hours? 2 hours later, London gets a phone call from the same guy who came and told us we needed a fumigation with the same company.
Yeah.
Because he didn't do a thorough inspection, so...
Yeah, he was like, I heard you guys have spray foam. Actually, majority of companies won't fumigate with spray foam, and unfortunately, we are one of them, so we're gonna have to cancel.
We already been waiting 2 weeks.
And we have an Airbnb booked. We've been sleeping on the couch for 2 weeks.
So we're screwed. We have to figure out how to get this spray foam. Well, first, he actually suggests a company that will do a fumigation with spray foam. Which we're like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
We need to get that spray foam out of there because why would we pay that for it not to 100% work?
And we needed to see what was behind the spray foam because
we don't trust the sellers.
That there was damage and they spray foamed over it. So finding someone to take the spray foam out was a bitch because it's hard to take out. You have to like hand chisel it off piece by piece, and there's like pipes and electrical and wiring and stuff behind it, so you don't know what you're gonna hit. So we both probably called like 10 to 15
each
insulation companies in the Tampa Bay area each, and all but 2 said we don't mess with spray foam. So the one company that does mess with it came over for a quote, and they're taking it out on Friday.
So we have that scheduled. So once all of that spray foam is removed, then we need to get someone to inspect the attic. Hopefully not, but there could be so much termite damage. There could be nothing at the same time, so we don't know. So we have to get that inspected, and then we get our house fumigated. We have that set up for like 5 days after the foam is demoed. And then once our house is fumigated, then we have to get, if there's anything wrong with it, we need to get that fixed or figure out what we're going to do. And then we're going to have to get everything re-insulated. So they told us not to go with spray foam because they shouldn't have even done spray foam in the first place since we have solar panels, and that should be a more easily accessible thing through the attic.
Yeah.
So there should have never been spray foam in the first place. So that's what's making us think they were hiding something, possibly.
We have an Airbnb starting today. We'll head over there in a few hours. But yeah, it's just crazy, costing a lot of money. We're not paying for it.
I'm mind blown at the morals of some of these people. If our assumptions are correct, which evidence is evidence, it's just so frustrating as first-time home buyers to have to go through this. Like, this has traumatized us to never want to be a house owner, and
we
that
just want to sell it and get it off our hands.
We want to fix it. We don't want to be like the sellers. We want to fix it and get it ready for the next person as much as we are legally supposed to, but it's just frustrating.
So that's what's going on right now. We'll keep you updated on whatever happens. I think right now our plan is once the interest rates drop, we're gonna sell the house so that we can at least break even from this beautiful journey. But yeah, like before this, we wanted to buy multiple houses and like rent them out for Airbnbs and like do that for our life plan.
Yeah,
that's off the table personally. Off the table. Out the door. Out the door and off the table.
I mean, we've been told from like multiple people like this is very abnormal.
Not supposed to be this hard.
Like, our realtor still is ignoring us. I don't even know if she's fully told the full story to the broker, which we will be doing. I just wish someone would like step up.
Yeah.
And like help us figure this out. We are quite literally learning everything for the first time right now. Buying a house,
working with lawyers,
like I have never felt more adult in my life than now.
part of it feels like I don't know, it just feels like the game of life. Like, we're like, I don't know who to call to get the structure figured out. Call this person who gives a recommendation for this person. They can't do it. Like, it's just like so much calling, so many appointments.
She said something funny about how it's just like playing the game of life, and she's like, oh, you pulled the fumigation card. You have to get a fumigation.
Oops, termites. Minus. Give $10,000 back to the banker.
This might be not accurate what I'm about to say, but maybe a part of this was homophobic.
Yeah, I know.
And I think we're so naive and blind that people are still homophobic that could have been a real possibility. So the more we think about it, we're like, it's a possibility. I'm not accusing anyone, but like, it's sad that we even have to go back and rewind and be like, that actually kind of adds up a little bit. And we just don't see it because we don't think that people are still like that. It's so weird. In our world, we don't allow that in our life.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're working in the real world with other people, with like businesses and stuff, like, you forget that that's still a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going through it right now, but
hopefully
we honestly want to share a lot of this information because I feel like it's not talked about enough.
Yeah, who knew you were supposed to ask what kind of insulation your house has? Not me, so maybe you should do that.
Obviously, yes, do a lot more of your own research. Like, I thought I did do a good amount of research, but you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And now we know it.
And it's a really expensive lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
But I hope this even helps just one person who's thinking of buying or in the process of buying. Like,
don't trust your realtor.
Do not trust your realtor. Do not
research.
Trust your home inspector unless you know your realtor. Even if you know your realtor, I don't even think you can trust that. I know.
I was seeing some comments of people saying like, my realtor did me dirty and it was my mother-in-law's blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Blah.
I just don't know who to trust anymore.
We unfortunately thought you could trust your realtor, so.
Step number one is do your research on your real estate agent.
Yeah.
Hire your own home inspector. Get multiple quotes for literally, next time I buy a house, I'm getting quotes because they're all free. All quotes are free. I'm getting quotes on every single thing. I'm gonna get quotes on the crawl space, on the roof, on the freaking windows, on freaking, I don't know, everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know if you have any questions. We'll keep you updated about what's happening next. And
that's all.
Bye.
Bye.